I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you are one of my regular visitors here. And if you are new here, a big welcome to you. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. So today, I'm bringing you one of my short heads up videos, but this one is specifically for the sign of Scorpio. And that is whether you have your sun in Scorpio, even your moon, or your rising sign, also known as the ascendant. So this is for everything you need to know to navigate the month of May 2023. Let's start with your ruling planet, Pluto, my dwarf planet, my big dwarf planet of transformation, of power, of beginnings, of endings, of the phoenix rising from the ashes. Your ruling planet is in your fourth house. This is where it's going to be staying for the next 20 years, bringing changes of all sorts to how you live, where you live, to your family, and it's not all going to happen at once. But that is the kind of general area of your life that is going to be under the spotlight from your ruling planet. On the 1st of May, it goes retrograde. Now, it's going to do this a couple of times before it finally sort of moves into Aquarius at the end of 2024. So on June the 11th, it will actually go back into Capricorn, your third house of communication, where it's really been revamping the whole way you think about yourself and the way you communicate. Now let's also look at what's happening on the 5th of May, because we have the second of two very powerful eclipses. The first was on April the 20th, and that was in Aries, and that part of your chart is the 6th house, but it was really right on your descendant, so it kind of brought in the energy of relationships, but also of routine and health. And that was a new moon total solar eclipse. This full moon is in your sign, Scorpio. And it's in that part of the chart, which is all about you. Now, interestingly, King Charles III, soon to be crowned the day after this full moon lunar eclipse, is also a Scorpio. And this full moon is kind of widely conjunct his sun in Scorpio. I'm going to do a separate video about the king and about the coronation and whether it will actually go ahead or not, or whether it will have lots of disruptions. That'll be interesting. But will you have lots of disruptions in your life? Well, this brings in the energy of your 7th house of relationships. So what this is signifying is that your relationships as well are going to be under the spotlight. I think you are completely re-looking at the way you relate to people. I think that you've had enough of being taken for granted. You've had enough of samey kind of stuff, and you want change. I think you really want some transformative change. People need to step up if they're going to keep up with you. I feel that is something of what this full moon is about. So then on the 6th, we have the coronation. And as I say, I'm doing a separate video about that, but it'll be worth for you, Scorpio, really having a good listen to that, because it may well affect you if your sun is if your birthday is around 15 degrees of Scorpio, because that's where the full moon event is going to take place. On the 9th, the sun in Taurus, which of course is your 7th house of significant relationships, is conjunct my big outer boy of shocks and surprises, Uranus. Well, of course, this is Taurus, this is your 7th house, and goodness, haven't you had your fair share of shocks and upsets to do with all sorts of relationships including business ones. So that energy is kind of ongoing. And the Sun being conjunct Uranus, I think, is highlighting a particular relationship, and something comes to light. I think something is revealed. That's something else that could come actually from that full moon, and it may well be involved with this Sun conjunct Uranus, because Uranus is more or less conjunct the Sun when we have the full moon. So bear that in mind. By the 15th, our planet of communication, Mercury, who has been retrograde since April the 21st, finally goes direct, again, in your house of relationships. So there's a lot of energy and focus on this sector of your life. Now, it won't come out of shadow until around the 27th, 28th of May, when it will be in what is known as Virgin territory. Excuse me. And then it will actually come up and be conjunct Uranus. And that's going to be interesting. That's going to bring in some interesting, surprising discussions to do with relationships for you, very much so. So let's look at the 16th, because Jupiter, that's been in your 6th house for quite a while, stirring up your day-to-day routine, bringing pesky little health matters to the fore, finally moves into Taurus and your 7th house. So it's now coming in to light up your relationships, bring opportunities for growth and expansion within significant relationships. It can bring in a new relationship if you're single and looking. And all in all, it's beneficial energy to have in this part of the chart. It can expand problems. That's the only kind of thing one has to be mindful of. So just be aware that if you do have problems with a significant other, that you need to use that Mercury going direct to try and sort things out, you know, whilst Jupiter is on the kind of borders of moving in to Taurus. By the 18th, Jupiter is actually squaring Pluto. And of course, Pluto in Aquarius retrograde in your 4th house of home and family. And this indicates there is going to be something coming to the forefront to do with family and family relationships that needs to be addressed. I think because Pluto's retrograde, this is about something that's already been ongoing, and this is just going to flare up again. Now, by the 19th, we have the new moon in Taurus, also in your house of relationships. So again, anyone who is single and Scorpio, if you don't want to be single, get out there, go out and meet people, because it's quite likely you could meet someone with the energy that is in Taurus at the moment. So just keep that to the forefront of your mind, because a new moon brings in new opportunities, new things. So if you're single and looking, get out there and look. When we get to the 21st, we shift our energy a bit to Mars, because Mars is in your 10th house, Leo, the sector of your chart that is to do with your career or your passion or whatever it is that is close to your heart, your soul purpose. And Mars on the 21st is going to be in opposition to retrograde Pluto in your 4th house of home and family. This is about a clash, I think, between work and family. It's only going to be around for a few days. It may cause a bit of tension. It may cause a few arguments, but you don't have to have the arguments, because it's like forewarned is forearmed. So just keep that around in your mind. On the 23rd, Mars, again, still in Leo, in your house of career, is squaring Jupiter, our planet of expansion, luck, and opportunity, in Taurus in the 7th house. Now, this could bring in the opportunity for a new business partner, but it's a square, and you're not sure if you're going to get on okay with this colleague, or if it's really what you want. You might feel as if you're being kind of cornered into something you're not really ready for, which is interesting because by the 25th, we have a very significant astrological event. We have a fixed grand cross. So that looks something like that. And basically what this is we have squares, a big kind of square between the 4 fixed signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Now I'm going to do a separate video on this, so I'm not going to go in depth in it. But for you, this is conflict between your work, your career, your home, and you and what you want to do. So it's almost like every aspect of your life. But don't worry, because I do think there might be events going on out there in the world that are having some kind of impact on this. So let's see nearer the time how that is going to unfold. And remember, it's an aspect that's going to be around for a few days, because this Pluto squaring the nodes, we're actually going to have around it's a T-square between the nodes and Pluto. Is going to be around for about 18 months or so. And Mars is not going to be making that a grand cross for the whole time. So this is it's just Mars is about irritation, frustration, anger. So just be mindful of that energy. By the 27th, there really is some rather super energy, again, in your 7th house, Taurus, because Jupiter, our planet, my big boy of opportunity, luck, expansion, is conjunct the North Node in this part of your chart. This is about the destiny you have, the fated destiny with the significant soulmate, your significant other in your life. There is something here very much about an opportunity that comes up for both of you to do something or create something that you've both actually dreamt about for some time. So actually that is a really nice energy to round the month off with. So in the meantime, thank you so much for coming to join me for your May astrology. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for all the wonderful comments. I feel like I have a personal relationship with a lot of you. It's really lovely to see the same names popping up. So thank you so much. I feel really blessed to have you all as part of this community, I suppose is what we could call it. And also my website, pennydix.com, the links in the description box underneath the video. But if you subscribe to my website, you'll get a newsletter which will inform you of some courses and kind of Zoom webinars that I'm planning for later on in the year. And that's going to be really exciting, but you won't know about them unless you've subscribed to the website. There will be a small fee for them, but it's going to be quite interesting. So just bear that in mind. Okay, Scorpio, thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.